Hello everyone and welcome to another UFC review. This is for UFC Fight Night Rodriguez versus Caceres. And before I start reviewing the event itself, I do want to get something out of the way that I completely missed in the UFC 201 review, which is one of the fights, which was Anthony Hamilton versus Damian Grabowski. Anthony Hamilton won in 14 seconds by very, very quick knockout. It was really, really good. So yeah, I just wanted to get that completely out of the way. I completely missed it last time, but yeah, I thought I'd bring it up while I remembered this time. So that was my fault. Let's move on. And there was quite a lot of first timers in this event. I will just point out, and our first fight was a good example of that, as Teruto Ishihara, I almost messed up his name there, fought Horacio Gutierrez, and Ishihara won by first round knockout. And it was a really good showing. I mean, I don't remember much of the details of the fight besides the fact that he won by in the first round by knockout about halfway through. It was really, really good. It was a good performance, and I would like to see him again. You know, it was a good showing from someone who I'd never seen before, who a lot of people hadn't seen before. Really, there's a lot of newbies in this one, or at least fighters I just haven't seen. So yeah. Next up is Sweden's own David Taymor against Jason Novelli. I don't know why I said Sweden's own, considering that we're in Salt Lake City, Utah, and this is actually the first event held in Utah. So, yeah, it's held at the, hang on, give me a moment, it's held at the Vivint Smart Home Arena. So, yeah, moving on to the fight, Tamer won by second round knockout. It was really, really well done. He landed a great counter left, and he followed up with some really, really, really good punches. Each of them landed. After he had rocked Jason Novelli with the left hand, every punch he threw afterwards landed immediately, and then Novelli was just down, and then like the referee had to step in and just like, nope, nope, that's it, you've done enough damage. I was like, yeah, he has. That was kind of brutal. Not as brutal as the next fight, I tell you this much. So the next fight was, another two people who hadn't seen fight in the UFC before. Victor Pesta against Mohsin Tybura. And Tybura won by second round knockout with a head kick and, pardon me, and oh my goodness, was it good. Throughout the entire fight, pretty much Tybura had managed to keep things standing. He showed some great wrestling defense against Pesta, who's known as being a really good wrestler. And he landed some really good strikes, but he did the right thing. He didn't really go over the top with them. He just landed them accurately and landed them frequently enough that he would win the first round. And I think it was it wasn't during a clinch break. He had Pesta against the cage, landed some really, really good punches, and then a left head kick right to the right side of Pesta's neck and nearly chopped his head off with it. It was amazing. Holy crap, I love a good head kick knockout. I mean, we saw that from, give me a second, Nikita Krylov in UFC 201. That was a really, really good one. So, yeah, it was a really, really nice, really good effort, and these are definitely a lot of guys I'm going to keep my eye out for. David Tamer saw in the Ultimate Fighters season 20. Would it be 24? Hang on, I'm trying to do the maths. Okay. It's weird that I'm thinking about this. 22nd season. I like how I didn't, pause to cut this so you could see me and work with faces. I was kind of just. Anyway, yeah, we're going to move on now. And to cap off the prelims card was a really, really good fight between Court McGee and Dominic Steele. First time Court McGee had fought in a while, and McGee won by unanimous decision in what was a really, really entertaining fight all in all. Was not fight of the night, didn't win fight of the night, but it was a very close second in my opinion. Court McGee just managed to stick to what he does best, especially like really early on in the first round. He could have won, I think, but Steele was just too powerful. Steele is a very, very powerful, tough dude. And the thing is, like, within the first 3 seconds, literally the first 3 seconds, McGee had landed a good left, right overhook combo, and rocked Steele and knocked him down. And he went to take his back and went for a rear naked choke, but he couldn't really fully sink it in. And it shows the resilience that Steele had, and I liked that a lot. And I liked seeing Colt McGee fight because he's a very underrated guy, I think. I would like to see him fight more, but who knows? So yeah, it was a really good showing from him. We move on from what was all in all a really good prelim card to kind of a naff start to the main card as Marina Rose fought a newcomer named Danielle Taylor. And I will say Danielle Taylor did impress me a bit more. Moroz won by decision. I think it was a split decision. Hang on. Yeah, it was, but yeah, I don't know. I liked Danielle Taylor. She's very short. She's 5 feet tall, and she works at she's a policewoman. She works at a penitentiary or something like that, and she's 5 feet tall, and she deals with guys like my height because I'm like 6'2". She, that wow. I mean, you don't fuck with a lady like her, and that was proven in the fight. I think she definitely did a lot of damage to Moroz. I think she did enough to win, but I don't know. I definitely think the best shot of the fight was landed by Taylor. She landed a really nice right overhand in the midway through the second round. It was really good. But the fight was kind of it wasn't too exciting. It was mostly stand up, but wasn't really exciting stand up, especially considering it's one of those troubles that shorter fighters have because Taylor's 5'0", and Moroz is 5'7", and Moroz really couldn't land too much from the outside considering how short Taylor is. Like a problem a taller fighter will have if they go for head kick is they will whiff it anyway, even if the short fighter doesn't dodge, because the foot or leg or shin will just go completely over their head and miss them. So yeah, it wasn't a great start, but it was a good showing from Danielle Taylor and Moroz. She's a good female fighter. I like watching her fight, so yeah, it was good to see. Next up, we come to a fight I really don't remember too much of, as Trevor Smith fought Joe Gigliotti. I have no idea how to pronounce his surname. It was pronounced Gliotti or something like that. I don't remember too much of this fight. It just says Trevor won. I don't really remember how. So yeah. I mean, I guess it was an okay fight. I don't remember much of it, so I'm just going to move on to the next one. I think that would be for the best. Yeah, so we had a really good fight between Santiago Ponzinibbio, who is a very underrated fighter in my opinion, against Zach Cummings, who is also very underrated and who I haven't seen fight in 3 years because he was on the Ultimate Fighter 17. I saw him fight in that season. He didn't win. He made it into theirs, but he lost his first proper fight, so yeah, it didn't go well for him. But yeah, you know, uh, this was a really good fight between the two. Lots of respect as well. There was a moment where Zach accidentally kicked Santiago in the good and plenties, and it's never good when you see that, especially considering how exciting the fight was getting. Ponzinibbio did manage to land enough and did a lot of damage to Zach, but all in all, it was just a really good fight, and I enjoyed watching it. So once again, not fight of the night, but it was good. It was good for a long distance fight, and Ponzinibbio won by decision. So can't really argue against that result. Next up, we have kind of a repetitive fight. Talis Latis versus Chris Camozzi, and Latis won late in the third round by rear naked choke. And throughout pretty much the entire fight, okay, you remember a month or something ago, one of the events I reviewed had Damian Maia against Matt Brown, and Damian Maia pretty much just took the back and went for a rear naked choke position and got it late in the third round. Pretty much the exact same thing happened here. Talis Latis went for it. He really didn't get in the first 2 rounds. But then third round, Camozzi made a pretty crucial mistake. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I know he did something bad that caused him to slip up, and Latis took his back, sunk in a rear naked choke, and that was officially it. So yeah, it was a finish, but it wasn't a very exciting one considering that was all Latis did throughout pretty much the entire fight. Saying he just wanted that rear naked choke position and couldn't really fully sink it in. So yeah, what else can you do? And obviously, by fully sink it in, I mean, he didn't sink it in until late third round when he won. Anyway, next fight, co-main event, really, really good fight. Dennis Bermudez versus Honey Jason, who hasn't been in the octagon in a while. And this was a really good fight. So, I don't remember a whole lot of it, but I do remember that it was just a whole lot of fun. And if I remember correctly, there was a moment where Bermudez had a really good man position on Jason and landed an elbow, and it opened a cut, sort of like shaped like that, like a freaking crescent moon. From there to there, it was split open. It was gushing blood everywhere. It's one of the nastiest cuts I've ever seen in a fight. It was, ugh. I mean, I don't mind a bit of blood in the UFC. They go hand in hand, but just seeing it like split out was, ugh. Anyway, Bermudez won by decision in what was a really, just a damn good fight all in all. I enjoyed seeing it. It was a lot of fun. So, yeah, really good showing from Bermudez. Really good showing from Jason. He lost, but I would like to see him again. And we're going to move on to the main event now. And the main event, which was the one that won fight of the night, and deservedly so, was Yair Rodriguez El Pantera against Alex Caceres, aka Bruce Leroy, which is one of my favorite nicknames in the UFC. And it was a hell of a close fight. It really was. They were both going for some mad spinning shit throughout the entire fight, pretty much. It was mostly Rodriguez going for it, but Caceres is a very creative fighter. For people who've seen him fight, he can do some wild stuff in the octagon. And it was an entertaining as hell fight. A lot of respect between them as well. It was just a whole lot of fun to watch. Rodriguez won by very close split decision. It was an amazing fight. It really was. By the way, while I remember, this is Alex Caceres' return to featherweight. He doesn't look different much from a bantamweight. I think a lot of that has to do with his afro. I think that just adds like 10, 15 pounds to him already, so he doesn't have to worry about much when it comes to changing weights. Yeah, no. But yeah, I mean, all in all, this was a pretty decent event. A lot of the main card fights, despite them going the distance, were a lot of fun. The undercard had some great ones as well. I didn't get to see any of the Fight Pass fights, unfortunately, so that's why I didn't tell you about any of them. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. I will take a drink of my cup because my throat's feeling dry. That's a lot better. And I'll see you all in the next one. So, take care.